Hello, everybody. I'm Epiphane. We're about to show off some sweet Satisfactory. Behind us, or behind me, I have Zenadיר here, and Link on the other side.
Эй, а у нас тут Satisfactory, package
Now, for those
процент.
of you who don't know what
А,
Satisfactory is, it's a factory
Дам?
building game where you try to make a bunch of stuff automatically.
Раннер будет
We go
использовать
fast,
North
so we're gonna try
RES,
and make it all ourselves. We're gonna go in here, skip
North
the intro.
Южный,
Start the time. Oh, we should start the timer.
Южный лес, короче. Вы поняли. Для старта,
So we're gonna start the game by breaking it. I'm skipping all the
собственно,
onboarding flow here.
начинается ран с того, что мы бежим и собираем все, что плохо лежит.
You know, learn how to play the game, but I already know, so I don't really want to learn.
И, понятное дело, мы бежим, собираем материалы, и также мы собираем вот с этих разрушенных капсул всякую фигню. В начале рана нам, конечно же, нужно найти железо. Куда же без железа? Самое лучшее вещество на свете, которое у нас будет использоваться на постоянку. Ну и, собственно, пока мы ждем, будем собирать палочки.
It is fantastic. It's great just to slide and jump around.
Another thing I'm doing while I'm running around here is I'm setting up a building.
Когда мы прибежим к железу, мы поставим свою базу. Но это пока еще рановато. Пока что мы вот прибежали еще на одну точку. Мы взяли катушки. Так, взяли все. Да, здесь в воде еще лежит. Не забывая про это. Это не прохождение игры. Мы поставим пэкидж. Я, если правильно помню, то это сборщик. Но я не уверен. То есть, когда мы его сделаем, то категория считается пройденной, поскольку в игре как такового финала нету. Может быть, в будущем появится, но это будущее, а мы сейчас в настоящем.
Everything I do is pre-memorized, so I have to know exactly how many iron ingots, iron plates, iron rods I'm going to be crafting, and I'm going to be going to very specific numbers throughout the entire run here. So right now I'm trying to make 37 iron ingots, which I'm going to be turning into 10 plates and 22 rods. I'll then be turning those in to get the first hub milestone, and we will start our very first automation.
How can you possibly keep track of all of these numbers in your head? How good at math are you?
I took 3 classes in high school.
Oh, wow, 3. I can't even count that high.
So now I'm building things without using the UI again. This is using the hotbar that I set up earlier, so I'll be using a lot of the pre-set-up.
Окей, я вернулся. Да, мы ставим не ручные, а автоматические добыватели ресурсов, коренных пород, наверное, можно так сказать, которые работают от угля. Ну, или от дерева, от чего угодно, на самом деле, работают. Это они все едят, всеядные. Пока делаем железные пластины. Понадобится их много, поэтому придется их очень много делать. Причем мы их все делаем вручную, не на автомате. Сейчас нам далее понадобятся такие вещи, как камень, уголь, конечно же. Поэтому скоро мы пойдем делать их, добывать их. Собираем железо. Ну и первый генератор, конечно же, куда же без него. У нас электричество в ране будет использоваться, понятное дело.
Next is diversification. So I've been working on iron stuff specifically, as you can see, but there are other resources in the game. For this run, I'm going to need a lot of iron, copper, and limestone-based materials. So I'm building a bunch of portable miners here, and I'm going to get them out to our coal, or our copper and our limestone nodes, so that I can come back later and get all the things that I need. During this time, my smelter's been working faithfully, so when I come back, it'll hopefully have a bunch of ingots for me to work with as well.
К сожалению, да, старт этого рана такой, что мы занимаемся автокрафтами всего. Точнее, даже не автокрафтами, мы сами все крафтим.
Делаем несколько буров.
Берем все, что добыли эти буры, и мы идем далее. Наконец, ставим добываться вот эту синюю руду. Это, по-моему, меч, если я правильно помню. И также мы далее переносимся на этот обрыв. Ой, какой он опасный прыжок сделал. Ух, чуть-чуть еще бы, и он бы полетел вниз. И считаю, все. Лаймстоун. Лаймстоун известь, что ли, или нет? Или я путаю? Не помню, как переводится, но ладно. Да, известняк. Все, спасибо.
And I see we're using a lot of portable miners here. There's a lot of efficiency in that, correct?
There is indeed. So each of these nodes, we've actually built the hub on top of one of them. They can support one automated miner, which is what you would do if you were playing Satisfactory normally. You'd put one miner down and it would get you about 120 iron per minute. But we don't like that speed, so instead I'm going to be putting down at least 3, sometimes 4 miners, which will give me...
Ставим автокрафт на все. У нас появились первые машинки, которые умеют сами все производить. Но ресурсов нам все равно иногда приходится вот так вот бегать. Конвейеров нету, пока ресурсов не хватает. Вообще, если сравнивать Satisfactory с Factorio, который... Ну, Satisfactory по факту является тем же самым Factorio, только в трехмерном пространстве. Ну, единственное, конечно же, здесь немного разные механики. То, как по мне, то Factorio, он более такой комплексный, и его можно очень легко, ну, точнее, быстрее в нем развиваться, начать свой старт. То есть, например, в Factorio сейчас раннеру прям приходится очень много бегать, из-за того, что поле взаимодействия его довольно-таки малое. Factorio, по-моему, оно намного больше. Как же он крафтит, вы поглядите просто. Крафтит и крафтит, без остановки. Железные пластины. Суть спидрана — это скрафтить пэкэдж как можно быстрее. Да, я хотя бы переведу на русский, я просто не знаю, как он по-русски-то вообще.
So, a thing I'd like to point out here is we do have an amazing friend on the couch with us. They are not mic'd, but this is our friend the Lizard Doggo. You can pet the Lizard Doggo in this game. Did you know that? Because we can go and pet the Lizard Doggo if that's a thing that the donations decide they would like. We just have to hear it first. Would you like to pet the Lizard Doggo, audience? Oh, I'm hearing some support.
Паковщик, паковщик, да.
So where are we currently in our lovely little factory here?
So right now we've...
Хотя я, по-моему, говорил... Ну, ладно, пропустил, наверное.
Unlocking constructors. I'm gonna silence Ada for a little bit.
How dare you? I'm reporting that to HR.
Don't tell her about it. So yeah, we're about to unlock constructors, which is going to get us nearly to the point that we're ready to start working on the resource sink. So one of my favorite gimmicks of this run is that rather than build everything we need, we are going to buy a lot of the parts. And in order to do that, we're going to use a milestone called the Resource Sink Bonus Program. Now, the intent of that milestone is that you can, you know, donate extra parts that you have and get a couple extra recipes, a couple fun things, but we're going to ignore that, and instead we're going to use a less well-used ability, which is you can buy parts. So we collected some computers and circuit boards earlier on the run, and what we're going to do here is we're going to donate them, use those extra tickets as little rewards for going and collecting like good little employees. And we're going to use those to buy everything that we
А вот и пошли первые конвейеры, наконец-то дождались, дожили. Теперь у нас больше автоматизации, теперь мы больше можем делать, производить. Здесь у нас медь добывается почему-то, я не знаю. Мне звук крафта из Satisfactory, кажется, в кошмарах будет сниться.
When I asked about them last time, I was told not to worry about it, so I don't worry about it.
I was told if I ask again, they'll take away the benefits I do have.
Вот это моды пошли на Майнкрафт, да. Согласен.
You have life?
All the mods даже близко не стоял. Я могу вам покосплеить эти звуки, это...
You know, fix it.
Это, не знаю.
Match a donation like
Это
that.
тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук.
I really love
И так
Fix
каждую
It.
минуту.
Fix It.
I love Fix It.
You know what else I love? Speed runs. How are we doing on the speed run there, Mr. Runner?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well here. So the next thing that I'm trying to do here is I'm getting to 100 of iron rod and iron plate, which will allow me to finish the tutorial. We're almost done with the tutorial. for this game.
Тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук-тук.
A little bit over 10 minutes here. I definitely
Этот звук, он меня убивает.
out of the pod. So that's
First time I
about
played
right.
this, it took me about 5 hours.
That sounds about right. It's a great game just to get lost in, so I didn't mind at all. 5 hours in, I'm like, I think I'm figuring out how to build a factory, and everything's like facing the wrong ways.
The time really does fly by. So we're going to submit this hub milestone, which is going to complete the tutorial, and we're going to get to work on unlocking the awesome sink.
Big fan of the awesome sink.
А, мы завершаем туториал только, кстати. Уже наладили поставку электричества, автодобычу ресурсов, некоторые автокрафты.
You'll notice that he jumps a lot when he interacts. That's because you can still carry your momentum while interacting, so you can almost interact with one and jump to the next and be ready to interact with that.
I thank you for your current and future service.
Thank you, Ada.
Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to
You know, speaking of, when we do demolish a lot of things, including the power lines, you're doing a duplication glitch. Is that correct?
That is correct. And it's not used super often here, but in order to get enough cable for later on in the run, we are going to be duplicating some. The way that it works is, I'm actually going to take these out of here. The way that it works is when you dismantle a building, if it's connected to a power cable, it will give you the power cable back. It will basically dismantle that part. However, it doesn't know if you're dismantling its neighbor. So if you dismantle its neighbor, that will also give you the cable back. Thus, you get 2 cables for the price of 1.
That's efficiency at its finest.
What a steal.
Can't get that price anywhere else. Thank you, Fix It.
Yeah. So we're going to get back to it a little bit more ASMR just as I make enough concrete and wire to fulfill this milestone. It'd be a great time to read some more donations.
Райнер говорит, что эта игра АСМР просто, вот этот звук его успокаивает. Нифига себе успокаивает! У меня уже голова болит от этого звука.
And I've got $250 from Work Metaphor that says GDQ is so wonderful. Thank you all. Well, thank you, Work Metaphor.
GDQ is wonderful. So I like that when we were talking beforehand, and I asked you, how pretty is your factory going to look? And you said not at all, but everything is still so efficiently lined up. It's very interesting to see, especially how many times you demolish and rebuild things. Everything still lines up due to how it snaps, and even then, I still couldn't use that mechanic at all somehow. I'm glad I'm learning so much through this speedrun. Thank you, my fellow Fix-It employee.
Of course. I can imagine nothing better.
And I know we gathered a number earlier in the run. Do you happen to know what I needed that for, my fellow
Yes.
commentator?
So, because this run is so math heavy, we figured we'd hit GDQ with a nice math fact. So our donation total at the beginning of the run was 1,262,319, which just happens to be the 17,521,849th position of pi.
Wow,
And if anyone can remember all of those digits, I will give you an apple.
You sound like my math teacher in high school. It's a good reward for all of that math. An apple. An apple a day keeps the math away, am I right?
I think that's the opposite of what happened in my math school. It just gave me more math.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. At least it led you here to fix it.
That's right. And who wouldn't want to be here?
It's my favorite place to be. So where are we looking right now in terms of how the factory is progressing?
Yeah, so we're looking pretty good here. I'm just about wrapping up this milestone. I'm going to toss in a little bit of wood here to keep this going. Once I get enough iron rods, I'll be able to submit the resource sync bonus program, and we'll be able to move on with the run. I'm looking to get about 67, and we're going to look to deconstruct all this and get our 400 concrete that we've been working so hard on.
And one of the big things he's looking at is the kind of in the middle of the screen there, all the resources we're getting from that mass dismantling.
Лучшая
We're looking for
тактика
a very
накопить
specific
ресурсы
number of certain resources.
— это просто разобрать свою базу.
400 concrete.
Логично, да?
Have just enough. So I'm
Он разобрал базу, и он с помощью этого
And this is where
космического
those
моста
computers and
получил
gearships that we
новые
picked up at the beginning
технологии.
of the run come in handy, 'cause this will give us, those tickets we were talking about to buy
Не, он
resources
получит,
and
наверное.
actually go
Я
and
не уверен,
gather
получил
them
ли он
and
еще
use that
космические, что-то я
slow.
пропустил.
Bonus rewards.
It's the epiphany of capitalism, really.
Examples of bonus content are
I do love the use of the awesome sink. It's something I never would have considered to progress
Отправил,
faster. Like, yes, I
отправил,
can
да.
just donate the resources I don't need and just buy the rest of them instead of buying that coffee cup I've always wanted. Thank you, Fix It.
Go that extra
Big
kilometer.
fan of the coffee
Go
cup.
awesome.
Big fan of this friend Lizard Doggo up here that you can donate to have a chance to win. This is part of the prize pack, actually. A $25 minimum donation. Did you know that? It's from lizarddoggo.com.
Is it actually?
Yes, I saw that. I love it. So what are we buying currently? What are the parts you're getting through the awesome?
Заходим в магазин и покупаем материалы.
Everything that we need to make our awesome sink, because rather than make all the
Благо у
parts
нас есть
ourselves again,
билетики.
we're just gonna buy them. So I'm gonna set up a little bit of power here. We did not make everything that we need. We made most of it, but we do have to do a little bit of work ourselves. So that's what I'm gonna be doing now, is setting up a small factory to spend the next few minutes.
И сейчас вы можете увидеть, как только что разобранный завод снова собирается.
You'll see here he's interacting incredibly quickly, but actually
Перестройка,
with the
так
soft
сказать.
timer in the top right corner, you can see that our pod is returning. No matter how fast we go, we cannot do anything until that pod comes back.
Но не бойтесь, все идет по плану. Да, настраивается, конечно, понятное дело, автокрафт.
For some donations. Do we happen to have any?
Well, we happen to have so many. We have $15 from Kiros that says, Happy Friday, GDQ. Congrats on raising over $1 million so far. Now let's get that number even higher. Thank you so much for that. And we've got $80 from Tobias A. They say good luck to all the runners and thanks for an amazing event. Well, thank you for your amazing donations.
What happens to be your favorite part of the video game, Mr. Runner?
My favorite part, honestly, has to be the exploration. Even though it's about building, I really like being able to just explore. This map is very well made. It's very fine-tuned. It's got a lot of nice enemies, fun things you can discover. Great caves, some scary ones, but the rest are great. So we're going out here to salvage a little bit more things. We're trying to take advantage of this extra time that we have. There's our lizard doggo. We might be coming back for him later, but you'll have to wait, good friend.
I believe.
Yeah, we will go and
Сбегали
gather
за
Pet the
предметами,
Dog.
которые раньше не взяли.
One donation naming Pet the Dog.
Собираем цветочки обязательно.
All
Обязательно
things I
собираем
might have been sitting
цветочки.
here putting in a donation to Pet the Doggo. I'm not going to confirm or deny it, but I do really like the prize pack.
Is that a conflict of interest for Fix It?
I don't know. I mean, the lizard doggos are also working, so we could just be considered coworkers, right?
Are we recruiters?
Am I going to finally get promoted? I've been working for this company for my entire life. I like being appreciated by Fix It. This feels wonderful. So, how exactly do you go about setting up the power grid so efficiently?
I use a lot of hotkeys in order to put biomass in all these things. I do have to split up a little bit here, but you can use a lot of number keys for quick shortcuts while you're setting up factories. For example, I'm pressing 1 in order to put in materials to all these smelters here. So I'm going to drop those in. I'm actually going to grab a little bit of iron to work with here because I expect to have a little bit of time before the drop pod returns. So I'm going to just use those ingots to make stuff myself.
You know, another thing that I keep noticing is how much you go back to crafting yourself despite how much is being automated. I think that's also a really cool part of the speed run, something I never would have considered. Once everything's automated, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to look around, I'm going to watch it do the work for me, but you're out there really
Будет,
putting in
будет.
the work yourself, really getting your hands dirty. What a model.
Но мы пока слышим звук, как молоток бьется об
Maybe I might
молоток.
get
Я
paid.
не знаю.
I'll put in a good
Как
word
они
for it.
получили этот звук?
Thank you.
I'm sure mine means a lot.
Yeah, we
what
find that most manual crafting is actually much more efficient in this game than using automation. Of course, if you've got 5 to 10 machines, it's going to be a lot better for you. But generally speaking, if you can do something automatically with a machine versus do it automatically, it's better to do it manual. You could go anywhere between 8 and 16 times faster. So we're gonna not get stuck on geometry here and then start dismantling. Now you notice that I'm hovering all the cables here. This is that duplication bug that I was talking about. So I'm getting double the amount of cables just by dismantling everything on all ends here.
And what in particular are we looking for while dismantling currently?
Right now, we're just looking to get everything back. We will be looking for smart plating later.
Взяли и опять разобрали весь завод.
But now it's time to build that factory. So we're going to be building the final factory of our run here. Dismantle this, and I'm going to be using E to...
Ну и наконец-то мы создаем наш последний
A lot of these bad boys.
завод. Ставим все наши ассемблеры.
Ada chimes in. What a good friend she is.
Assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space
You can easily align all your buildings by holding control, which is
И вот наш финальный завод, самый мощный, самый производительный.
And then usually it gives me everything that I need.
I think you'll notice here we're adding a specific amount of items in there, and it actually works out perfectly with what we grabbed earlier. We can just right-click to quick split a stack, and that gives us pretty much exactly what we need if we split it enough times.
And we're also efficiently using the momentum, like you mentioned earlier. While interacting with one, we're jumping past it to also be immediately ready to put in the resources for the next one. And also, you're putting the resources in the first to build the smart platings before you're even building the connectors to the next section, which is a really efficient way that I never would consider.
А чё ты пытаешься? Я уже наушники снял.
Like very specifically before I even start building anything. It's just the efficiency in this run was really impressive when I was sitting down watching at 4 a.m. to prep for this. Like, wow, it's
Я
just so,
пошутил.
the small things that you'd never consider unless you were really thinking in that efficient manner.
Satisfactory is a beautiful game in which you'll start playing it and find out that it's 6 in the morning and you have work the next day.
I can confirm that has happened to me on many occasions.
Yep. Play it midnight, wake up at 4 a.m. to realize you had to work at 2 a.m.
Well, I'm always working because I work for Fix-It, so
That's
That's
right.
true.
it's part of the contract.
So we're going to go ahead and build the rest of the stuff that we need for our space elevator, and then I think I have enough time here to go make a friend who will come with us for the rest of the run.
Yeah, I think it's time to recruit another employee to fix it.
That's right.
And I think while we're at it, do we also have some time for some donations?
We absolutely have some ready to go. We've got a nice reminder from Tragic Bike. They donate $25 and say, hydrate, please. That's right, keep hydrated, everybody. We've got $25 from King TDN. It says, it's been a great marathon so far. Let's go.
Hey there, buddy. Would you like a pale berry? Yeah, you would.
Oh,
That's a good boy. Come with me.
that's a good friend.
Они приручили
Name him?
животное.
Do you think Fix-It would want our friend named?
I don't know if Fix-It wants you attaching emotions to any of the animals.
So we'll just give it a number then.
I think we should name it Chad.
Oh, okay, Chad also works, but let's not tell Fix-It.
All right, so we've prepped our mass dismantle here to end the run. I'm looking at that smart plating number, which is sitting at 46, 47. We're getting near the end here, and once it hits 50, I'm going to be dismantling, and we'll be wrapping this up. As soon as I pull the bar down to send the space elevator package, that'll be time. So I'm going to drop these in here. Oop, drop these in here, and as soon as we hit send, that'll be it.
And where can we find you?
And, well, first we got to hit time. And now we can watch the building continue.
Ну и они
being built
построили космический
and
мост.
shot up into space.
Точнее, он.
There you go, fix it.
О, сердечко.
You're a dog.
Chad.
Shoutouts to
И у нас есть наш питомец.
And again, I'm Epiphane. I stream on twitch.tv/Epiphane. This is Zenadier again and Link, who have been
В
helping.
принципе,
commentate
это
this
весь
run.
ран.
This is a lot of fun. I got nothing else to add here. Anything you two want to say? Any final parting shots?
Shoutouts to our amazing audience who has been just phenomenal the entire run.
The entire event.
The entire event. You guys have raised so much money for charity, and it is just exhilarating to see so many people get so hyped for this event.
I would like to shout out our friend Chad, shout out Fix-It for this opportunity, and shout out to GDQ. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you, GDQ.